Hey guys, Joe here with Think Small Air Cool Performance. Today we're going to be working on a 1970 VW Beetle, and we're going to be doing the starter replacement on it. Now this is the same for all Beetles. There are a few specific things to the 12-volt system versus the 6-volt system. I'll go into a little bit of detail, but let's get started. Some key signs that your starter is going out is when you turn the key switch in the car, you'll hear a click, click. That is key to knowing if your starter's going out. And then sometimes it will start right away. Sometimes it'll click, click, then start. So today we're gonna be replacing this starter, so stay tuned. Now the first thing you're gonna wanna do is pop this rear seat and you're gonna wanna disconnect the battery. I normally just take the negative off. You don't have to take both off. Just make sure it's far away from the terminal. So we'll get to that. I'm gonna jack it up and I'm gonna pull this tire off. Just make it a little more easy to access. It's on the passenger side, right up under here. And there is gonna be a bolt that you're gonna need to get to on the back side of the engine. This particular lid doesn't really pop up, so I gotta get that popped up and I'll show you there. And then a few wires. With the tire off, it gives us a little more access to get up in here. I'll get a light here. Make sure you got extra support there. Let me get the light. So your starter is right here on the other side. There it is, you can see it. So you will have to lay under here. Now the bolt and the nut, I guess, is right behind the fan shroud. There it is. So because this is a doghouse, you won't be able to fit a socket. So you're gonna put an end wrench on that. Now it really depends on who did the last starter or who installed the engine last. Sometimes they use regular bolts, and then sometimes there's a special head next to the starter and it holds it for you. You always cross your fingers. I will get a end wrench on that and I will try to loosen it. If it turns, then you're gonna have to put something on the back side. It means that someone didn't put a special bolt on this side. So we will see here. I'm looking at it right now. Doesn't look like they put a special one. Yeah, it looks like it's just a regular bolt. So in this case, I will have to put a end wrench on that end as well. These are 17 millimeters. So just grab a 17 millimeter and then there's two. There's one on top and one on bottom. I'll show you some more details on that. You're gonna need a 17 millimeter. Sometimes you need a socket, but on this one, I'm hoping I don't need one. So you may have to use an extension. You're also gonna need a good flashlight, so get one of those. Now, if this is the first thing you've done on your bug, it's a lot harder to film this than it is to actually do it. Right now, I'm looking through a peephole. So if I can fit my arm and the other one, you got this wire on the back side. This is your starter switch. Goes on the back of the starter. Just pull it off. Looks like that. Then you're gonna need, I believe it's a 13 millimeter, and you're gonna pull this nut off right here. And then this will slide right off. This is your main battery cable from the positive. So that's why you want to disconnect the battery. So once you disconnect the battery, you're good there. Just disconnect this, pull it off, and then you can get to the two 17 millimeters on the back side of the starter. So I will pull that off real quick and then we will get to the 17s. It wasn't very hard to get to that 13 millimeter. It was a 13 millimeter. Now I want to clarify, I believe because it's a 1970 and it's got the rear backup lights. This particular car doesn't have it, but you're gonna have this little guy right here. And this is for your transmission. Take that off, but this car doesn't have it. It's just another tab. Just pull it off and then pull this cable off right here. You'll just pull it off and then let it hang. Okay, so you just get it on there. I got it loose. I might have to hold it on the back side. We'll see. It's a little tight back there, but it's not impossible. So now I'm under the car. There's the nut you're gonna have to get to. So just undo that. I got the top one done, but it turns out that it was not a stock bolt. So that always makes it a pain, but you'll have to put something on the end of that and just keep it from turning while you turn it over in the engine bay. Something you have to figure out. Help the guy out after you and put a stock bolt. That really helps. Just keep that in mind. But I'll get this off real quick and then we will pull this out. All right, so now that we got both those out, this one and that one, we'll just slide it out. I might have to use both hands on this one, but we'll see. Okay, just like that, drop it out. And there you have it. Just do it with two hands, it's a lot easier. All right guys, so there you have it. That's how to remove a starter from basically any Volkswagen Bug. This bolt definitely was modified, you can see that. So the stock bolt is pretty wide and it has a like half moon, and that half moon fits into this slot, which keeps it from turning, which is really nice. So you can just undo it on this end. So get a stock bolt, it really helps the next guy and maybe you in the future. Because this is a Bosch original starter, I'm gonna have it rebuilt. They're not making them like this anymore. So another thing to check in the future is your bushing out front on the back side here. I won't get into too much detail with that, but most of the time they're good. Check that out. All right guys, so that is how you remove the starter. To reinstall it, it should be pretty straightforward. You just put it back up in there, get the correct bolt, which is really helpful, especially if it's a stock starter. You want to probably go with Bosch, but they make some cheap grade ones that you can get. They do the job. They're just not as nice. If you want top of the line, get a Bosch starter. You can find them pretty much anywhere. So do that, get the correct bolt, and just reinstall it how I took it out. Like I said, it's pretty straightforward. Just hook all your wires back up and you should be good to go. Alrighty, hopefully this helped. Take care.